Hi there, this is Kristin Brenner with Integrity Mind Body, and I'm here today with our very first Sattva Sunday. I am really excited to begin this series. This is a way for me to provide you with some practices that are accessible right at home, where you don't really need anything special except a quiet corner of the house to do these practices, and they can hopefully help you gain a little bit of calm in this crazy world. So what does sattva mean? According to yogic philosophy, everything in the universe that can be named has innate intrinsic qualities that are called gunas. And there are three gunas: rajas, tamas, and sattva. Benny is in the perfect sattvic state right now. So rajas is about action. It is about movement. Tamas is rest and inertia. It's kind of the darkness. And the truth is, we need to have a good balance of all of them. And there are some people who believe that sattva is that balance of rajasic and tamasic energy. And so you can be really out of balance and have too much rajas, or you can be really out of balance and have too much tamas, which too much rajas might look like anxiety. I'm really simplifying things. Too much tamas might look like depression. And again, I'm taking a very simplistic view because there are people who spend their whole lives studying this, and really I'm giving you the overview. So what we're looking for is this completely balanced state between action and rest. That makes sense, right? We can make sense of that in our day-to-day lives and know that we need that. And that's called sattva. And that is really this kind of resultant energy of this good, properly placed balance with tamas and rajas. So that's what I'm hoping that this Sunday practice will give to us, this beautiful state of tamas and rajas balanced, which equals sattva. So today we're going to be working with a restorative yoga posture. This is one that, though you do need some props, you don't need a ton. You'll see behind me, the posture is called star, first of all, and you'll see behind me a whole stack of blankets, and I also have some small, what are called eye pillows. You can just have a Ziploc bag with rice. You can make these at home with anything like rice or lentils, dried lentils, not canned. Any kind of dried bean can go in these, and they're pretty light. They're just a simple weight that we use over the forehead or in the palms of the hands. So I have those here. I'm going to see if Benny will let me practice, or I might have to move the camera. Okay, Benny, let's go. Okay, we're going to practice. We're going to do some yoga. Okay, so first off, we start with a blanket for our head right here at the top of your mat. And you can use, I have these yoga blankets. You can use any blanket that you have at home. So you can also here just use a pillow from your bed or from your couch. Just something to rest your head on, not something too thick. We really want it pretty close to the mat. For the next blanket placement, we're going to take a long blanket, and there are a couple of ways that we can fold this, depending on your body. And so I'll show those to you, and then when I'm in the posture, I'll talk to you about the adjustments. So one way is to fold this into thirds. So it's like that. And the other way is to fold it in half. So it's like that. And then a third way is to take a second blanket and fold it in half over the first one. This gives a little more height. And that's where because I do this, I know my body is likely going to go there. So I'm going to stick with that. The next thing we need to do is to make some blankets to support our legs in this posture. And so you can take a blanket, if you're using a yoga blanket, it's open like this, and just roll it up. You can also use yoga blocks here for this. And I'm just going to place these down toward the bottom of the mat so that when I come into this posture, I'll be ready. And I know for myself that my hips are pretty open, so I don't need a ton of support underneath my knees. You might need more. And so really what we're looking for in this practice is finding a sense of support. We don't want a deep stretch. That's a different practice. This is restorative yoga, and so we're really looking to have to feel complete support underneath us, and we're not going for that kind of stretch, opening, lengthening. That's a different practice. In restorative yoga, we really are coming into that sattvic state, so that complete balance. And so that opening, stretching, kind of moving yoga is more rajasic, and we don't need that today. That's for another time. So for myself right now, I am going to place a couple of blankets to the side to rest my arms on. If you were coming into a private session with me, I would be doing all this for you, and it's quite lovely. I'm placing these, you don't need these blankets. I'm placing them here because my floor, this is in my basement, my floor is cold, and I don't like to be cold. So the blankets help keep a barrier between the cold floor and myself. And then I'll keep these close by, and I'm going to take off my glasses before I come to lay down in this posture. So I have 3 eye pillows. You can do this with 1 or 2 or all 3, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're coming to sit so that where the blanket is across the mat, and we're sitting a little bit forward of it. We want the blanket to rest right kind of where our ribs, well, a little bit above where our ribs begin. So the shoulders are off the blanket. The hands are open, and I'll just move the blankets here. And you can see that my heart is lifting, but just a little bit in a nice supported way. I'm going to just roll this blanket to support my neck a little bit. And then bringing the soles of the feet together, I'll let the knees come out, and they're supported by these rolled up blankets to on either side of the knees. So this is the basic setup for star. If you want to add the sandbags, you can place 1 over the forehead and 1 in each palm if you have enough of these eye pillows. And once you're here, you're looking to, as I said before, to feel that full sense of support through the entire body. So we're not looking for stretch. So some of you might find your knees are up quite a bit higher because you don't have the same openness in the hips. And let me explain, for me, this openness in the hips was not something I earned from doing yoga. It's just the way my body is. So we're really working with the body as it is, as it's showing up for this practice today. And so if your hips aren't open, and you'll know if you're feeling this stretch through the groin, support the knees up a little higher. And like I said, you can use a yoga block. Coming into the same posture, you can have a yoga block up on the higher sides and coming to rest there. In terms of the heart center, this is really an enlivening posture for the heart center. It's awakening. And there is an invitation to trust and to a bit of vulnerability. So we're finding this openness through the heart by using these blankets in a very simple way. So some people might need more lift, which you can do by even folding the blanket into fourths and coming down like that. And some people might need less. You don't want to come into a sense of pain at all in the heart center. It's simply about lifting and opening. We never, in any restorative practice, of course, we don't want to be in pain. So we're just letting the heart lift, but at the same time feel completely supported and open. I could literally stay here for an hour. So find yourself in that posture. Let yourself come into this lying down supported posture with the heart lifted, the knees open. This is a very open, receptive posture. And it's really awakening to the heart center. It encourages a sense of trust and also a sense of vulnerability. And we really need both of those. They need to be in balance, just as we talked about with Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. This is a posture you can stay in for as long as you like. I like to set a timer on my phone and with a very calming ding, because I don't want to be jarred back to the present moment with a awful sound. So just set a really lovely sound on your phone. And you can stay in this posture anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. You might find that you fall asleep, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens in restorative yoga. It's not the goal, but because we're often so tired, so worn out from all of this activity that we're constantly doing, especially as moms, we often will find ourselves sleeping in these practices. You might also just be in that kind of state of betweenness, and just see what that's like to be in that state. You might find that your mind is really, really active. The mind is the last thing to settle in restorative yoga for most of us. So you're not alone if that happens. Please don't think there's something wrong with you. This is just the nature of restorative yoga. We support the body. We give the body all kinds of props and support underneath, and let the body settle in and see where the mind goes. And just see what it's like to be with the experience in the mind rather than try to manipulate it or change it. So that is our first practice for Sattva Sunday. I am so excited to begin this, and I look forward to meeting you here every week. Please feel free to share this video with anyone that you think might enjoy it. And please follow me here on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook, and sign up for my email at integritymindbody.com. Thanks very much. It's great to see you here.